Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talk Ralph's English podcast. I'm Ralph, and I'm so happy you're here today. We have another fun and useful English lesson for you.
Mm-hmm.
Joining me, as always, is our wonderful co-host, Aria.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be here. Hope you're having a wonderful day.
Today, we are going to talk about, how to share your feelings in English.
Right. Sharing your opinions.
Exactly. We're looking at 4 very common words: think, believe, suppose, and reckon.
Oh, those are great words.
Yeah, they are. So let's get started.
Let's do it.
You know, it's interesting. If I ask you, what do you think about learning English?
Yeah.
That feels really different from asking, what do you believe about learning English?
Oh, wow. Yeah. That changes the whole feeling of the question, doesn't it?
It really does. And that is our mission today. We want to help you, the listener, understand exactly how to use these 4 words.
Because native English speakers switch between these words all the time, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's not just about grammar. It's about the emotional feeling of the words.
Right. How strong you feel about something.
So let's start with the most common word, the word think.
Ah, yes. The good old word, think.
It's like the default setting, right? It's the word we use for almost everything.
It really is. It's very soft and it's very open.
What do you mean by open?
Well, I mean, when you say, I think it's going to rain or I think this restaurant is good, you're leaving space for the other person to disagree.
Oh, I see. It's gentle.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
totally neutral. It doesn't start an argument. It just says, hey, here is my idea, but you don't have to agree with me.
So it's kind of like a soft cushion for your words.
That is a perfect way to describe it. A soft cushion.
But wait, I have a grammar question about this.
Sure, go ahead.
Sometimes I hear people say, I think that it's a good idea, with the word that.
Right, yes.
Is it wrong if I say, I think it's a good idea, without the word that?
Oh, not at all. In fact, dropping the word that is what native speakers do almost all the time.
Wait, really? They just leave it out?
Yeah, they do. Saying, I think that we should go sounds a bit strict or formal.
Ah, okay.
When you just say, I think we should go, it sounds much more relaxed. It's friendly.
I think we should go. Yeah, that does feel easier to say.
Exactly. It makes the conversation feel low pressure.
Low pressure, I like that. So, let me ask our listeners a quick question.
Good idea.
Think about your favorite food. How would you tell a friend about it using the word think? Write your answer in the comments.
Yeah, practice dropping the word that.
Okay, let's unpack the next word. Because sometimes you don't want to be soft, right?
Right. Sometimes you have a very strong feeling.
And that brings us to our second word, the heavy word, believe.
Ooh, believe. That is a very strong word.
It really is. If think is 50% sure, then believe feels like 100% sure?
Exactly. When you say, I believe, you are telling the other person that this feeling comes from deep inside your heart.
Like it's a part of who you are.
Right. It's for your personal values or big dreams,
Yeah.
or maybe your religion.
Okay, so let me try an example.
Let's hear it.
I really love pizza. So I should say, I believe pizza is the best food in the world.
Oh, Well, actually, no.
Wait, really? But I feel very strongly about pizza.
I know you do. But using believe for pizza sounds a bit too serious.
Oh, I see.
It's like you are making a serious rule for the whole world. For pizza, you should just stick to the word think.
Okay. I think pizza's the best food. That makes sense.
Right. But if you want to talk about something really important, like being a good person, then believe is perfect.
Like, I believe people should always be kind to animals.
Yes, perfect. That shows a deep moral value.
Oh, wow. I can really feel the difference now.
It's also great for professional situations, like at work.
Like a boss talking to their team.
Exactly. A boss won't say, I think this new product will be good.
Because that sounds a bit weak, right?
Right. Instead, they stand up tall and say, we believe this product will change the world.
Wow, that sounds very confident.
It does. It shows strong leadership.
So listeners, here's a question for you. Can you think of a time when you would use the word believe? What is a strong value you have? Write your answer in the comments.
I can't wait to read those.
Okay, so we've talked about think, which is casual, and believe, which is very strong. What about when we are barely sure at all? Like maybe only 10% sure?
Ah, yes. Now we are looking at our third word, the word suppose.
Suppose. S-U-P-P-O-S-E.
That's right. Suppose is a really interesting word.
I feel like it has a very hesitant energy, like you're not fully committing to what you're saying.
Exactly. We use it a lot when we are just guessing.
Like guessing the time.
Yeah. If you don't really know, you might say, I suppose it will take about an hour to get there.
Oh, I see. So if it actually takes 3 hours, you're not in trouble because you only supposed it would take 1.
Haha, exactly. It's a safe way to guess.
But there is another way to use it, right? A way that feels a bit more, well, polite but reluctant.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The classic British use of, I suppose so.
Yes. Whenever my British friends say, I suppose so, I always feel a bit, worried. Like they are secretly annoyed with me.
Well, to be honest, they probably are.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Saying, I suppose so, is a polite way of agreeing to do something when you really, really don't want to do it.
Oh, wow. Okay, give me an example.
Imagine it's early in the morning, and your friend asks, hey, do you want to go to the gym right now?
No, I don't want to stay in bed.
Right. But you want to be polite. You don't want to just yell, no.
True. So what do I say?
You sigh and you say, I suppose so.
So it means I will go to the gym, but I'm going to complain about it in my head the whole time.
Exactly. You agree, but you show that you have zero excitement.
In America, we might say, I guess so, to mean the same thing.
Yes, I guess so, and I suppose so. Work the exact same way there.
So listeners, what would you say in this situation? If someone asks you to clean the house on your day off, do you say, I suppose so, or do you just say no?
I think I would just say no.
Me too. Okay, there's one more way we use this word, right? With a little twist at the end.
Yes. When we add the word to, supposed to.
Right. Like you're supposed to wear a seatbelt.
Exactly. This changes the meaning. It's no longer about guessing. Now it's about a rule or an expectation.
Like something you have to do because society says so.
Right. Even there, it feels like there's some outside pressure pushing on you.
Wow, okay. That is super useful. So we have think, believe, and suppose.
We have one word left.
Yes, our final word today. And this one is fun. It's the word reckon.
Ooh, reckon. I love this word.
R-E-C-K-O-N. Reckon.
If you look in a dictionary, reckon means the exact same thing as think.
Really? Just the exact same meaning?
Yep. But the feeling is completely different.
How so?
It's very, very casual. It's friendly. It's relaxed. When you say reckon, it feels like you're sitting comfortably with your best friends.
Oh, I see. So I could say, I reckon it's going to be a nice day today.
Exactly. Now, it's important to know that where you live changes how people use this word.
Right, because I hear my friends in the UK and Australia use it all the time.
Yes. In the UK, Australia, and New Zealand, everyone uses reckon. Young people, old people, teachers, everyone.
But in the United States, it's a bit different, isn't it?
It is. In the U.S., it sounds a bit more country, like someone from the South, or maybe an older classic movie.
Like a cowboy saying, I reckon we should hit the road.
Yes, exactly like that. An American in the city would probably just say, I figure, or I guess.
But still, if an English learner uses reckon with a British person, it's a great thing, right?
Oh, it's the best. Experts say that native speakers get so happy when learners use casual words like reckon.
Why is that?
Because textbooks usually teach very strict, formal English. So when you say reckon, it shows you're really listening to how people talk in real life.
It makes you sound like a local.
Exactly. It breaks down the walls and makes everyone feel like friends.
But wait, does that mean I can use it anywhere? Like, what if I'm in a very important business meeting?
Oh, no. You have to be careful.
Why?
Remember, reckon is very casual. If you are wearing a nice suit, talking to the boss of a big company, and you say, I reckon this business plan is good.
The boss will think I'm not being serious.
Exactly. They will be very confused. It would sound like you are treating millions of dollars like a casual chat at a coffee shop.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I should save reckon for my friends and family.
Yes. Keep it for relaxed, fun situations.
Listeners, can you think of another example where you would not use reckon? Maybe talking to a police officer. Write your answer in the comments.
That's a great example. Definitely use think with a police officer.
Yeah. So let's put all of this together. We've learned so much today.
We really have. Let's do a quick recap.
Okay, let's use learning a language as our example.
Good idea. Let's start with think.
I think learning a new language is a good idea.
That's neutral. Just an everyday, polite opinion.
Right. Now, what about believe? I believe everyone should learn at least one other language.
That's strong. It shows a deep value and conviction.
Okay, now suppose. I suppose learning English can be difficult, but it's worth it.
That shows you a bit hesitant, admitting that it's hard, but accepting it.
And finally, reckon. I reckon learning English is the best thing you can do.
Very casual, very friendly, and highly informal.
It's amazing how just changing one word completely changes the emotional temperature of the sentence.
It really is a superpower for English learners. It's the difference between just translating words and actually speaking the culture.
Which brings me to a final thought for our listeners today. A little something for you to think about.
Oh, I love these.
We just spent this whole lesson looking at how English has different words for how strong your opinion is, from the polite think to the heavy believe to the reluctant suppose and the friendly reckon.
Hmm.
So think about your own native language. Does your own language have different words for how strong your opinion is? Or is English just uniquely obsessed with measuring exactly how we feel?
Ooh, that is a really fascinating question.
Think about it. Or, I suppose, if you believe I'm onto something, let me know what you reckon.
Uh-huh. Very clever.
Great job today, everyone. I hope this lesson helped you feel more confident in English. Keep practicing a little every day, and you'll improve faster than you think. Thank you for listening to Talk Ralph's English podcast. We'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Bye.